because that's what it's about, right? It's more than just having a story told to you. That's the reason we wanted to do this on a medium like podcasting to begin with, and on YouTube and all that, is because it's not some big, mega company that, you're never going to interact with the people that create those movies or TV shows or whatever. Interact with us. We like that. The conversation with history is the fun part about history. I mean,
Right.
learning the story is the first step, and you gotta do that. But then getting to have conversations with people about it is what's so fascinating.
Yeah,
and enjoyable.
And our history connects all of us. I think,
does,
as Americans.
Listen, I heard someone one time. Now this is gonna sound like it's coming from me, and like I'm biased because I'm a Marine, but I did hear. Well, I've heard it twice. I heard a Navy SEAL and an Army Green Beret say this on various YouTube videos, and I wish I could tell you exactly which ones, because I know there's going to be some people like, BS, they never said that, you know what I mean? But both of them said something along the lines of, out of all the branches, no one comes out of boot camp more locked on and motivated to do their job, like be a combat fighter, than the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps is the best at that. You come out of boot camp just locked on, right? And
Certainly
and
do.
Listen, I do have to, like, I'm not, again, I know it's going to seem like I'm being super biased, but I would have to agree with that on if I was being honest with someone. I'd be like, listen, yeah, you're going to look a lot different than just about anybody else in the military, all the other branches.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they emphasize their heritage so much. And these guys, you have to earn the title of being a Marine. You're not a Marine from day one. You're recruited day one. It's after the Crucible, you get your EGA. Then you're a Marine. You've done that whole process as a recruit. It's the end. You become a Marine. But that whole time, you're learning historical stories about this organization, and they're incredible. And they put so much value on that history that it makes you not only it does a few things. It makes you, one, super excited to be able to be part of that group, right?
Yes.
Like, and proud and to say, like, to have accomplished the training and get awarded the EGA, and now I'm a Marine. I'm inside this group, The other thing it does is it instills in every recruit's mind the importance of keeping up that legacy, right? Like that you want to honor that heritage, and you don't honor that heritage by falling asleep on post.
Right.
You don't honor that heritage by retreating, and you don't honor that heritage by doing something you're not supposed to do, right? Like they preach, do the right thing even when no one's looking, constantly in the Marine Corps.
And it also gives you a sense of who has gone before you, what they have done, the standards that they have continued to uphold. Now you're going to uphold those standards.
It's a changing of the guard almost. It's like they're handing the flag off. Like that's part of the process. But you have to learn that heritage and become connected with it. And it's because they keep you in it constantly in the Marine Corps. They're always you'll be marching somewhere, and they'll be at, like, the drill instructors will be like, blood, like, what's the bloodiest Marine Corps engagement? And then you spout it off, and you do that with a bunch of other stuff too. This, but they're invested in it. Right? New recruits become invested in the heritage of the Marine Corps. And you can see that when Marines get out of the Marine Corps, once a Marine, always a Marine, right? And I will say, this is, again, not me being biased. I'm like, I would if I'm having an honest conversation about it, another area that the Marine Corps seems to excel in beyond any of the other branches is their camaraderie after service, right?
Agreed.
Like Army guys, soldiers, don't have a once a soldier, always a soldier kind of mantra, right? The Air Force doesn't, the Navy doesn't, but the Marine Corps is very emphatic on that, right? They once a Marine, always a Marine. I'll even have civilians that have never been in the Marine Corps be like, once a Marine, always a Marine. They'll even say, you know what I mean? They'll even say it to you,
Everybody knows.
So you're always connected, right? And that connection, I'm able, with most, I mean, listen, there are some, I hate to admit this, but there are some Marines out there that you're not going to have a conversation with. There's just there's some bags. There's bags everywhere.
Bags.
But
everybody's everybody.
But that being said, man, the majority of the time I can have a real friendly, pleasant, open conversation with a fellow Marine of any generation. And we want that to happen with, the American warrior's legacy. It doesn't matter what branch they come from or what capacity they served in. We want to celebrate that culture, that heritage, and we want to promote it being carried on honorably in the next generations. And the only way to do that is to become invested in the subject matter and engage in it. Part of it is listening and reading and learning, the history for yourself. The other part is talking about it and, talking about different aspects with people that might know more or less than you.
Right.